Psalm 22. Psalm 22 is a psalm you may not be familiar with, but I think a lot of what you see in it is going to be very familiar. What do you suppose Jesus was thinking about while he was hanging on the cross? What do you suppose was going through his mind? Well, I think we can safely say Psalm 22 was. He quotes it several times while he's on the cross, but at the same time, it's almost like the Old Testament is giving us a picture of Jesus on the cross. David wrote this psalm. He wrote this psalm about his own enemies, but a lot of it is going to be fulfilled in Christ. Let me just give you a few. Psalm 22 verse 1, my God, why have you forsaken me? You heard that before? Jesus calls that out while he's on the cross. But then you go on to verse 7, all who see me mock me. As Jesus hangs there, people are mocking him. Verse 8, he trusts in the Lord, let him deliver him. Let him rescue him, for he delights in him. Sounds familiar, like he who's the Son of God come down from the cross, right? Verse 14, I am poured out like water and all my bones are out of joint. That's what would have happened when somebody was crucified. They hung crucified people in such a way where their arms were literally almost out of their sockets. Verse 15, my strength is dried up like a potsherd and my tongue sticks to my jaws. So Jesus would have had a dry mouth while he's hanging on the cross. That's why he needs them to give him sour wine so he can wet his mouth and talk. 16, listen to this one. For dogs encompass me, a company of evildoers encircle me. They have pierced my hands and feet. They've pierced my hands and feet. Verse 18, they divide my garments among them. For my clothing they cast lots. That's directly quoted in John 19 when Jesus dies, verse 18, right there. Jesus is thinking about Psalm 22. He's quoting that. He's got that memorized. He's thinking about it. It's giving him hope. Why does it give him hope? Well, because of how the psalm ends. Why does Jesus suffer the way he does? Psalm 22, verse 27. All the ends of the earth shall remember and turn to the Lord, and all the families of the nations shall worship before you. For kingship belongs to the Lord, and he rules over the nations. Jesus suffers as he does so all the nations can come to know the Lord. They can all come and worship him. He can be king over the entire world. People can submit to him by faith. I think of Hebrews chapter 12 where it says Jesus endured the cross, despised the shame, and is now seated at the right hand of the throne of God. He knew the joy that was set before him, Hebrews 12 says. So he endured the cross, he despised the shame, and he's at the right hand of God. He endured the cross because he knew the joy that was coming. All the ends of the earth shall remember and come to worship the Lord. That's why Jesus died, and that's what Psalm 22 is screaming. Jesus wants all the nations to know him.